Greetings, we members of the Galactic Council. We'll tell you about extraterrestrial civilizations in contact with Earthlings. This question has a direct bearing on us, since we regulate the activity of interaction of Earthlings with alien life. At the moment, these contacts are episodic, but in the near future, many extraterrestrial civilizations will be more active in relation to the Earth. You are now passing a key point in your development, and many representatives of alien life will want to help you overcome this rub hedgehog. Each civilization has its own unique qualities and capabilities that can be useful to people. But for the contribution of alien civilizations to be harmoniously realized on Earth, their capabilities must be adapted to terrestrial conditions. And if people have an idea in advance, alien beings who plan to communicate with them can plan the best format for interaction. Such training can be carried out by each of you individually and consist in the dream of a possible meeting. Sharing their dreams on the information that we will cover, a person will be able to make his intentions very high quality and accurate. In this way, a person will increase the likelihood of a desired meeting. In addition, preparation will allow you to maintain a resourceful emotional state during the contact, which will largely determine the results of cooperation. Qualitative human emotions will ensure the adaptation of the capabilities of aliens to the peculiarities of earthly life. These experiences will set the context within which a person will perceive new information for himself and in which it will transmit this information to other people. If these emotions are comfortable and natural for Earthlings, then alien knowledge will become earthly. In each of our messages we will talk about one of the civilizations, and start with the most significant ones that have shown the greatest activity on the surface of your planet. The second part of our message will be devoted to civilizations, playing a more private role, but of particular value to individuals. Learning about such a rare civilization, a person will be able to feel the connection with its peer by the creators created in his past incarnations when he was one of them. Of course, people have a connection with the most active civilizations. They are felt at the level of collective consciousness and are used by the system as a control over humanity. Connections of individuals with more rare civilizations are not a means for manipulation, since they do not affect the masses of people. Such private connections with aliens can become a source of quality states. In addition, unique connections reinforce the individuality of people. Centuries. By establishing such contacts, he will begin to better understand himself. The civilizations that have shown the greatest activity on Earth include the Orions, Pleiadians, Greys, Lyrians, representatives of Alpha Centauri, Andromedans and Arcturians. Today we will tell you about UFOs. The UFO phenomenon combines several phenomena at once. Some UFOs are really spaceships, and mainly these are vehicles of Orion, Pleiadians and Grey. Orion and Grey ships usually have an elongated shape. Among Pleiadians, OK are the corner. Another type of UFO is the luminous portals used to teleport alien creatures from their constellations to Earth. The portal can provide movement of the whole alien ship, and then the observer can see how another object flies out of the luminous region. After that, the portal remains open for some time, so the passage connecting different points of the galaxy cannot disappear instantly. In addition, some portals remain open for several days or even years, and in some cases they are a means of constant communication of the Earth with one of civilizations. Many races using portals do not have physical bodies, so the observer usually does not see creatures emerging from it. In particular, representatives of Alpha Centauri, Andromedians and Arcturians belong to such creatures. Portals are usually created in sparsely populated areas so as not to cause unnecessary disturbances among people. Connection points to the Earth often become the peaks of many mountains, each of which is a resonator connecting your planet with one of the constellations. A large number of luminous portals are also seen near the North Pole and in Antarctica. The polar zones are characterized by weakened magnetic anomaly used by the Earth as a screen that does not allow uninvited guests. The poles are the entry points of alien life to the Earth. These two zones are controlled by the Galactic Council, which determines the degree of access of each civilization to the planet field. The glow of the portals is connected with the ionization of air, the amount of energy invested by an alien civilization in the formation of the passage. At the moment, the planet energy field tends to remain closed, which is manifested in the screening properties of the magnetic field. The Earth field does not support portals with its own energy, and they are formed by creating temporary breakdowns in its protective shell. To minimize the destructive effect, Alien civilizations create portals at points on the planet where the field is weakened and cannot actively resist. The tops of the mountains are such weakened zones. Mountain peaks literally pierce the protective field, providing a breakdown. Earth forces allow such interventions, since mountain structures are the most distant from the center of the planet, and the arrangement in these places is more difficult for them to control. In fact, a separation of duties occurred on Earth. Earth forces regulate processes under the ground and near the surface, and the areas significantly higher above the level of the world ocean have been given over to the protection of the Galactic Council. In view of this, spaceships and portals are often noticeable within mountain plateaus, where there may not be sharp peaks, but differing in high altitude. Thus, the glow of the portals is associated with the resistance of the planet field to the formed shy. The Earth field seeks to maintain its integrity, since through the openings created by aliens, the Earth energy irrevocably goes outside. To minimize outflow, each new portal is created with the permission of the Galactic Council. In addition, our organization seeks to reduce the life of each portal, therefore any communication of the Earth with alien worlds is carried out at an accelerated pace. In general, not only portals, but also spaceships, and even the bodies of many aliens possess luminescence. Reason also in the ionization of air around space objects that are not accepted by the Earth atmosphere. To stay in the Earth field, aliens need to spend extra energy. This energy is spent on the formation of a layer around an alien object containing vibrations familiar to extraterrestrial beings. Such an energy layer can be compared to a spacesuit inside which the usual atmosphere for its owner is maintained. In this case, the energy atmosphere created by the bodies of aliens or their by ships. Extraterrestrial objects work like generators of waves. They literally push apart the Earth energy space, which allows them to be in a separate zone. Thus, aliens create parallel spaces that are not directly related to the field of your planet. To spend less energy to overcome the external resistance, many alien creatures really go into parallel worlds. Each such world has a passage into the space in which people live. Residents of such a parallel world use a passage only in order to influence physical processes by conducting significant experiments, or to make contact with individuals. Parallel worlds created by aliens can be represented as bubbles floating in the Earth atmosphere. Vibrations inside the bubble are significantly different from frequencies characteristic of the Earth field, therefore, practically do not affect each other. Therefore, the vital activity of aliens proceeds independently of the physical processes taking place on the Earth's surface. Even if the representatives of extraterrestrial civilizations have material bodies, they are not visible to people. The physical perception of a person is set up in such a way that allows him to notice only processes that emit a certain spectrum of emotional frequencies. Such waves are most common in the Earth's field, and therefore the human senses are used to working in the appropriate range. Emotional vibrations are emitted by each physical phenomenon or object. They can be represented as a backlight. Everyday physical perception allows you to perceive the backlight only to determine color. Therefore, from the entire set of material phenomena, a person sees only the part allowed by the field. The bodies and ships of aliens have a different energy illumination, currently not perceived by most people. To become noticeable, a group of aliens need to change the radiation spectrum of their bodies and bring this glow closer to that which is familiar to man. In addition, adjusting to the energy background characteristic of the Earth's surface, aliens are able to influence almost any physical process, since it proceeds in the range of generally accepted emotional energies. In many cases, extraterrestrial beings do not seek to show themselves to people. They conduct their own private research. Their experiments consist in deviating natural or social phenomena from the standard course, which leads to an unusual result for the Earth. Each civilization seeks to embody in the field of the Earth a model that is successfully applied in its sector of the galaxy. For this model to start working within your planet, it needs to be tuned to Elon vibrations characteristic of the Earth field. For example, some research group located in the mountains can experiment with wind currents. The group can create a portal at the site of collision of several winds, and supplementing this point of the planet with its vibrations, it will observe deviations of air jets from a standard course. At the moment, all alien experiments are compromises that distort the natural course of terrestrial phenomena or create their artificial analog. The Earth's field resists unnatural processes, so most of the phenomena triggered by aliens are either short-lived or can exist due to constant energy injections. In general, Any phenomenon occurring on the surface of the planet is carried out due to two types of energy, emotional and materialized. Materialized energy will form the structure of matter, and is also the driving force of physical phenomena. Emotional energy provides settings that determine the course of any phenomena. Emotional energy can be represented as a stream filling the physical process. As soon as the stream changes its direction, then the external course of events instantly changes. The research of most aliens consists in changing the direction of the flow of emotional energy, by adding their frequencies to the Earth flows. Extraterrestrial beings are interested in observing how the Earth field reacts to the local malfunction that they organize. As a result, they begin to better understand the mechanism of work of the Earth, a system that controls social and natural processes. In this case, most experiments are carried out by aliens with the permission of the Earth system itself. If some group of extraterrestrial beings are found, since it has recently been established on Earth and has not yet managed to establish itself, it is allowed to conduct research in those areas that are not of key importance. Temporary deviations that aliens provoke in these areas usually do not affect more global results. Alien effects a separate social process may undergo, in which case people acting within it, having experienced an unusual state, will begin to act in an uncharacteristic way. But since this social phenomenon is a part of more staff process, the deviation is smoothed out at a higher level of the system. A group of aliens can influence one of the firms by contacting its leader and supporting him in a resource emotional state, allowing him to get out of a crisis situation. During this period, extraterrestrial beings can contact the human energy field, charging it with their vibrations. The human energy field is the outermost shell of his energy body, extending beyond the physical body. This is also called an aura. It is a means of a person's emotional communication with the environment. An aura can be considered an energy face of a person, reflecting his mood and allowing him to maintain mutual understanding with others. The influence of most aliens on a person is to establish contact with his aura and complementing his characteristic frequencies by those waves that are characteristic of such an extraterrestrial race. Sometimes a group of aliens accompanies a person throughout the experiment, irradiating his external energy shell, thereby providing deviations in the reactions of other people and egregores of the system. Such constant maintenance requires significant energy resources. In addition, maintaining a continuous connection with humans, aliens become visible to the forces of the system. If such a group of extraterrestrial beings has not yet received official permission to act on Earth, then acting openly it may be punished in the form of a ban on further experiments. Therefore, aliens allow themselves constant support either in exceptional cases, or if they have already received a residence permit in system. Usually extraterrestrial beings act more stealthily. The effect on the aura is ensured by installing special resonators in the zone, also called chips. Such resonators are the smallest and portals connecting the human aura with the parallel space in which the alien creatures are located. The chip design can be very different depending on the capabilities of the alien race. In particular, the Orion people use technological devices that create local disturbances in the human aura. The Pleiadians and some other races, physically embodied, put in a person aura a piece of alien matter born of their own bodies or the planets from which they came. Creatures not possessing with ethereal bodies, they use energy informational constructions capable of deflecting the energy flows triggered by a person. As a rule, connection to the aura occurs during sleep, when a person becomes less sensitive to the processes occurring in his outer energy shell. Insensitivity is associated with human distraction dream, provided by the astral space, creating a series of vivid visual pictures viewed by man at the level of imagination. Contact with the astral space of the mouth poured through a person aura, which is temporarily captured by this energy space. Such an astral world can be created by an alien civilization to establish contact with a sleeping person, as well as to amend his plans. During sleep, a person often creates intentions that define his behavior during the day. By showing a person certain visual pictures, a group of aliens can influence his decisions. Through contact with the astral world, resonators can also be introduced that can turn on at a certain moment and influencing the emotional state of a person, incline him to a certain choice. The resonators themselves are in the aura of a person as long as the experiment conducted by an extraterrestrial civilization within his life is relevant. For each study, the system must give a separate resolution, determining the degree of influence of an alien civilization on human actions and the duration of such contact. After the end of the experiment, The resonators located in the aura are eliminated, which also usually happens during sleep. After the alien group conducted a number of studies and found successful ways to redirect the Earth processes, the system can give such a union a specific task. This order may consist in ensuring the coordinated work of a certain zone of the system, the processes in which for some reason out of control. For example, the energy currents filling the volcano can deviate from the usual course, which greatly increases the likelihood of an eruption. In many cases, the natural system is not capable of balance such energy variations, since its structure is characterized by substantial stiffness and cannot adapt to spontaneous changes.